Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy. If you think you know an answer, put it in the chat. And when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we could all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of a common phrase or an idiom. part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind, that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go. So I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion. So put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoyed this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready, because we are going to start soon. Hello, hello, hey, hi everybody, hey, welcome. My name's Axel from Get Speaking English, if you don't already know. And yeah, like the video said, we're gonna do a crossword today. We're going to do this one that is on the screen. So you are welcome to participate in this crossword. I am live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can play at in any of those locations. I guess I need the Twitch chat. Just a second. There we go. Now I also have chat from Twitch on my screen, so you can participate in any of those locations, and I can see you, and you can interact with me that way. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello. It's really good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. I know it's Wednesday, so I hope you had a good weekend and you had a good start to your week. Mine has been going okay. Yeah, so like I said, right, so we're gonna go through this. I'm gonna direct the conversation. I will choose which question we're gonna work on when. I'm going to throw out some, I'm gonna explain the question, first of all, then I'm going to throw out some alternative clues, little hints, things like that, to help you figure out what the answer is. And then when I see the answer, I will put it on the board, and we will complete the crossword that way. So don't be shy. I love when people participate. Like I said, you can participate on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I think it's fastest on YouTube. There's a bit of a delay between the different sites, but it seems like it's quickest on YouTube, so keep that in mind. However, I do, if there are people playing on the different places, I will definitely sort of wait and let everybody to catch up. But YouTube seems to be the place to be. Okay, anyways, yeah, so we're gonna do this one. I looked at this a little tiny bit. I didn't have a lot of time this morning, but this doesn't look that hard, so I think we'll be able to do this one, and it won't give us too much trouble. There's not a lot of trivia in it or anything. So, yeah, so let's start, I guess, maybe like a smell or we have smell or a sight, say, and then we have a relaxing retreat. I think a smell or sight are examples of something in that you know, people have, basically, right? So because we have there's sort of like these five things that all humans typically have, right? Like smell is one example, sight, also taste though, right? Or touch. I mean, these are all examples of whatever this thing is. I think that's what we're getting at. Whatever those things are. The ability to hear, that would be another one. We have 5 of them. Exactly. So this one's going to be a sense, I think. Sense is going to be our answer, and I can't tell. Alright, so let's put that in here. And then this little relaxing, this little retreat. What is a retreat? A retreat might be sort of, it's almost like, I want to say like maybe like a mini vacation or something. Usually it's almost like a getaway, where you might go someplace just to escape reality for a little bit, right? But there might be like one place in particular if you want to go for some relaxation to sort of to take a break. There's sort of one place in particular, a place, a relaxing place where, you know, maybe you would get a massage, for example. So that's when people, you know, rub you with your hands or their hands or whatever. They rub the muscles, right? Or maybe or a facial, for example, which is where they put, you know, they'll put different skincare items and things like balms and stuff all over your face to make it all really nice and smooth and exactly. So that's gonna be a spa. So our relaxing retreat, our little getaway, it's gonna be the spa. Awesome. Let's see here. Alright. I wonder if we could get this one. Possibly. Okay. Let's try this one. I don't know if we will know this word. What else is here? So something that is akin. Something that is kin to something else is related to it. So typically maybe they are in the same family. So we are looking for a this here, we are looking for a something that is related to a shrimp. And if you don't know what a shrimp is, it's kind of like a little, it's a little sea creature that we then eat. Kind of one of these guys. I'm just grabbing a picture here. So here are some shrimp. Here are some shrimp. So I think this one, it's very similar. So in the same family, but I think that they're a bit larger. So sort of like a larger version of a shrimp. It's funny, I get Looking for pictures. Okay, like, so, because strips are typically pretty tiny, right? But I think we're looking for, they're kind of like larger, I think. Like, these ones look pretty large. Yeah, so tricky. This might be tricky. This might be a new word. Yeah, I guess the legs and stuff are a little bit different. I guess that's the difference. I don't know a lot. Yeah, I think they're like a little bit bigger. But yeah, one of these things, one of these little things, one of these types of, these are all crustaceans. I can spell it. That's not it. Crustaceans. Yeah, these are all types of crustaceans that we might eat. Anyways, this here, these like larger ones, these are prawns. So I'm gonna put prawn in here. So sometimes if you have a menu, you see a menu that has prawn on it, or a dish that has prawn on it, really similar, or a prawn in it, really similar to shrimp. Kind of have very similar taste and stuff too. Okay. Anyways, okay. Let's see. Let's do let's do this one. This opposing vote. So obviously a vote, it's like, you know, when you get people's opinion on something, whether they agree or disagree with something, right? So something we might say if we are voting to say that we basically, if you oppose something, you are against it. So something we might say when we are voting is say we disagree with whatever they're trying to vote on. Disagree with the I don't know. So kind of like the opposite of yes, although if you were voting you wouldn't say yes necessarily. You would probably say yay or whatever this word is. So this could also be like maybe a little bit of a tricky one too. So there's yay or whatever this is. They kind of have a similar sort of sound. They almost rhyme. So it's not gonna be nan. So not that one. Good guess though. These two things, they're going to rhyme. They're going to rhyme. I guess apparently we spell this like yay or nay. Ah, no. Anyways, yay or nay. That is, we're gonna put a nay in here. Sometimes you might hear if someone is a naysayer. So if somebody is a naysayer, they are really negative and are against doing many things. Or they're very disagreeable, things like that. So that's kind of like a funny place where we would see this word. So a naysayer, yeah, somebody who just tends to sort of poo-poo or disagree with everything. They never want to do anything. They always think that like every idea you have is terrible, and they always say that it's not possible, things will fail. So that's kind of like a funny little word here. you go. Somebody who says something is not possible and not good and will fail. So, anyways, so that's kind of an interesting one. So, cost rate. Okay. Maybe let's do. Well, we can see that there's an S here. So an ER. That's like the emergency room, the ER at the hospital. And then we have this thing here that's like so far, sort of a phrase that we might say. For saying that maybe to this point something maybe hasn't happened yet, or maybe something has happened. But yeah, looking for basically a little phrase. That basically means like until and including this time, basically. So far. I'm gonna put it in a sentence, maybe that will help us. Okay, I'm gonna put it in a sentence. I just something to type in. Okay. Kind of like this. We haven't needed extra staff so far, or whatever this is, but we may in the future. So something like this, something that we could complete this little sentence with. As yet. Exactly. All right, awesome. Yeah, so let's put as yet in here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, so here, for example, we haven't needed extra staff as yet. So up until this point, but we may in the future. All right, cool. The historic era or historic times. A historic time. That's funny. A lot of historic times. I have insight. All right. So let's do this one here. This little contest form. A little contest is often some sort of maybe some sort of a game that you would do and you would have a chance to win something, right? So a contest that you would enter where you'd have the chance to win something, right? And a form here, right? This is gonna be sort of a piece of paper or maybe a document that you sort of have to fill out. So a piece of paper that you need to fill out in in order to participate in the contest. So, yeah, so basically like the name of that piece of paper that you might fill out in order to say that you want to participate in a contest or something like that, or maybe like a competition. So kind of like a type of form that would allow you to give, your name, maybe your address, your contact information, that sort of thing. So in case you win, then they will be able to contact you. An entry form, exactly. So our entry form is going to be a form we would fill out in order to participate in a contest. Cool. Cool. conical topper. That's a tricky one. Well, let's do this one. Our first historic time clue or question. So a word for, yeah, so historic times. I guess there's going to be an S here. So sort of an important part, anything historic, right, is related to history. So past events, right, the story of past events, that's what we mean with history. Different from stories, right, those may or may not be true, but history has to do with the retelling of real events that happened in the past. So we're looking for sort of like a very common word we might use if we're talking about periods in the past. And you're right, these are going to be eras. So what eras? An era is a sort of a very important point or period in the past. Let's put that there. Perfect. All right. Pirate ship. Oh, this would be kind of easy, I think. An orangutan. Orangutan. Yeah, so we this word orangutan. That is how I would pronounce that word, even though it says like orangutan. The pronunciation is actually orangutan. So that is tricky. And an orangutan is basically kind of a type of monkey. This is an orangutan. Type of monkey. And you're right, an orangutan, crazy word, orangutan is related to, is a type of ape. Exactly. So let's put ape in here. Crazy word, orangutan. Awesome. Butts can, oh no. But I think we can figure out where scouts might hang out. A settlement is kind of a place. I mean, a settlement is typically maybe a place where humans or people would, like, you know, they would set up little places where they could live in, basically, right? Right? Maybe they would set up some lodging or some places that they could be. So scouts in particular, right? They are going to sort of like set up these little places where they can sleep, basically, and that is going to be camps. Exactly. So camps are going to be our scout settlements, little temporary places where they might set up to spend the night. Great job. Yeah, settlement is kind of a funny clue, like a funny little clue here. Yeah, here is the official definition for settlement. So basically, well, I guess like the act, but of going to live in a new place where few people have lived before. So something like that. British person. Yeah, let's maybe do this one. Rational. So somebody who is rational. Somebody who's rational is maybe like they are thinking with sort of a clearer head, right? You know, maybe they are are like logical, maybe not necessarily logical, but they, you know, they don't have anything that is like impacting their ability to think clearly and make decisions, right? And so we might say that somebody who is able to think sort of really clearly, logically, somebody who doesn't you know, mental health problems, so or anything like that, like somebody who can think really clearly, we might say that they are this. Something like this. Yes, they are have a healthy mind, they are not mentally ill, basically. So, something like that. They might also exhibit, like they show that they have good judgment, maybe, good understanding. Exactly, sane. I think sane is going to be our answer. So somebody who is sane is very, like, clear-headed, rational, able to think, process information clearly and efficiently. They don't have any, because they don't have any, like, mental illnesses or anything like that. They don't have any issues. And the opposite would be somebody who is insane. Somebody who is maybe plagued by, like, a mental illness. Could be insane. That is the opposite. Yeah, so let's do this other historic time. So just one this time, but another word for a historic time. Another one that we might use. So we already had eras. An era. This is also used to refer to periods in the past, to refer to important periods in the past. And usually these actually, yeah, they might, we would call them different things, like the bronze, whatever this thing is, or, I don't know. Something like that, though. Yeah, kind of like a particular period of time. I mean, sometimes we even use it for, like, today, to refer to today. Like, the modern something, or, I was thinking this one, like, you know, the bronze, whatever this is, the industrial, whatever, or Victorian, whatever. So not era, or era. We already got some era. We already have era. I think this one is going to be, this is going to be age. So, you know, the modern era, or modern age, or, you know, even more so, the Bronze Age. So I think age is going to be this one here. All right, so let's put age in here. I think this might be a little bit, I mean, kind of trivia, but Verdi was like, what, like a composer? Yeah, Verdi, I think I butchered that. Verdi, a composer, creation, something that they would make. sort of almost like a type of it's almost like a theater performance, but it's almost like but where the music, like the words are sang basically, right? So an opera, exactly, is gonna be you know, basically a musical play where the words are sang, right? So yeah, let's put opera in here. All right, cool. Let's put opera in here. And yeah, this is I think we could get this. Well, we might know this word. That's a good question. Myrrh is like I don't know if I want to explain what it is, but amber though is kind of like stuff that comes out of trees, but it's almost like it's fossilized stuff basically that comes out of trees. So this is amber basically. It's like fossilized stuff that comes out of trees, and that stuff, before it gets all crystallized and fossilized or whatever, is the tree sap, basically. The sticky substance that comes out of trees. Yeah, insects are often trapped in amber, exactly, because it's very sticky. Can't get out of it. Hard to get out of. Probably impossible to get out of. So here's some example. This is sap. This is sap coming out of a tree, right? Yeah, so we're basically looking for another word for all of these things, and exactly, that is resin. So resin, I think, is our answer here. Awesome. Yeah, great job. Now I'm curious actually too, just like for the official definition of resin. Yeah. I think this gets used by like violinists or something. That's like what they put on the strings. I think so, eh? Or no, it was Rosen something. It's this though. I had somebody who was a violinist. He I don't know. He was obsessed with collecting it from the trees. Anyways, a thick sticky substance that is produced by some trees that becomes yellow and hard after it is collected, and any various similar substances produced by a chemical process used in industry. So that's interesting. Yeah, so here we have a lot of pine trees. It's very easy to get resin from the trees because they are everywhere. Quiet insight. I think I know what this is, but so something conical has the shape of a cone. We can kind of see the word cone in here. So a cone being sort of like a pyramid, but with a round circular base, right? So here, for example, here is a cone, basically. And this topper, I think we're thinking about something that goes on top of something else, right? So we have a topper, something that goes on top of something else. I think something that goes on top of our heads. I think that's what they mean. So, so basically I always say maybe like a whatever this is, 2 words, a hat shaped like a cone. And you know where you might like wear that sort of hat? Probably at like a kid's birthday party, I think. Something like that. Something like that. I'm gonna get a little picture. You know, like little kids might wear. Maybe like one of these, for example. So fairy, maybe not fairy hat. Not quite a fairy hat, but definitely a type of hat. Like one of these. One of these little guys. Second word is hat, though. That is true. So let's put that in here. I think it's always for like, it's like also just like the word maybe for the event. Maybe. Something. I think this is going to be a party hat. A party hat. So a party hat might be a coned shaped hat you would wear. Especially for kids. So I put party in here. Party hat. What's this one? Cool. Okay. Oodles. Oodles. You know what we say when there are oodles or something? When there are oodles of something, there are like many of those things. So I think we're looking for sort of like another word that we might use, or another phrase, I should say. A phrase we might use when there are a large sort of a large amount of something. And there are oodles and oodles or something. That would be a collocation that we would say. And there are oodles and oodles of something. There are oodles and oodles. Let us say that there are like a lot of many things. Exactly, a lot. Yes. Yeah, so we have many things. We're gonna have a lot of things. Go. And that means we might have oodles and oodles of them. I love this word, oodles. Kind of a funny word. So here, I'm gonna put it in a sentence here. Like, she inherited oodles of money from her uncle. So she got so much money. Yeah, so that's how we might use that. Great, kind of a little word. It's a little old-fashioned, a little old-fashioned, but so maybe a little bit outdated. Also, this is kind of very informal, I should say, as well, too. The word oodles, very informal. But yeah, so a lot. We have like a lot of things. If you have oodles, something, you have a lot of them. Okay. yeah, tender touches. I'm gonna put the S here. So if you do something tenderly, right? You do it maybe very gently, right? Without, you know, hurting or being careful not to hurt, right? So some sort of like, these are almost like maybe like gentle caresses or something that you might do, maybe. Something like that. You might do this, maybe if you were kind of like proud of somebody and you wanted to congratulate them, you may like sort of like touch them on the back, sort of, something like that. Yeah, maybe something like that. It's kind of like to gently touch somebody, usually with your like your flat hand, right? Kind of do it a little bit repeatedly. Sort of what I'm doing right now to myself. Or you could do it like to somebody's head, maybe. But yeah, basically, gentle caresses, basically gentle, gently tap someone with a flat hand repeatedly, basically, maybe something like that. It almost seems like it could be pets, right? But obviously we have a pet here, right? How about a pat or a pet would be more like if you were like to stroke it. But here we're just like kind of gently, almost tapping. That's what we're doing. With this here. Anyways, this little thing that I'm doing right now, I am patting. This is a pat. Pat. You could pat somebody on the head. You could pat somebody on the back, maybe to congratulate them. So I think pats are going to be our gentle little caresses. So, yeah. So, and you might want to like pat somebody on the back. If somebody says, you know, give them pat yourself on the back, because that's kind of a very classic way to show that somebody did a very good job. Something like that. So, yeah. So let's do that. Brass band members as refinery work. Lounging garb. Alright. Yeah, let's do this one. This S here. So brass, when we're talking about music, when we're talking about musical instruments, the brass refers to sort of like a subset of musical instruments. Like because you could categorize them, right? There's like woodwinds, there's percussion, there's brass. And brass typically refers to anything that's kind of made out of brass, often. Not always, but like for example, a trumpet would be an example of a brass instrument. A trombone is an example. Here we go. Here are some classic brass instruments right here. So we're looking for basically, I guess, the name of one of these instruments. What are these brass instruments that would be part of a band? So we have what? It looks like a trumpet, Actually, I don't remember the names of all of these anymore. French horn. This one's definitely a French horn. Trombone. Yeah, I don't remember all the names. Tubas. I think tubas. Exactly. Tuba is like the large one. Sort of this large one on the bottom. Exactly. So let's put tubas in here. Yeah, I'm like curious. I'll have to like look up after this. Reinform myself of the names of all of these different instruments. Yeah, because I don't remember anymore. Anyways, let's put a tuba in here. And I like the word garb here. So the word garb is not a word we would use ever, not very often. But garb is just basically another word for clothes, basically. Very kind of like rare word. And if you're lounging, you're basically lying, you're, you know, lying around, relaxing, right? So maybe you're like home, lying around, being really relaxed, right? In your home, so you're in your private residence maybe, and you might wear something, sort of like this piece of clothing, maybe because you just got out of the shower or something, or maybe you put it on over your, you know, your pajamas, something like that. Exactly. Robe, I think, is going to be our answer here. So you might lounge around in your robe. Yeah, we might lounge around in it. So that's kind of like the collocation that I would use for basically just like lying around, relaxing, in your in the home or whatever like that, because you don't need to go out. I wonder if we know this one. Homecoming attendee. This is kind of like a Latin word, I think so. Like, I think it is. Homecoming. Homecoming is kind of a reference to college or university. These are basically people who graduated from a university. But I don't know. I have a funny feeling that this word is probably used in other languages. But basically short for someone who studied at a particular, you know, university or college or school, something like that. We usually use this in particular for talking about people who studied at a university. Yeah, I don't remember specifically what homecoming is. This is when you go back to school. An annual event for visiting graduates. So people to come back. Yeah, alum. Yeah. I guess homecoming is probably an American thing. Homecoming is a tradition in many high schools, colleges, and churches in the United States. In Canada. I've never done it. Involving a football game, a parade, and a dance. Okay, that's neat. Anyways, alum. These are kind of like the people who went to who basically graduated from a university. So let's put that in here. Because I feel like, I don't know if we would know this word. Like, maybe. We might know this one, actually. A place where a pig would live, maybe. So, and typically this place is notoriously messy. So much so that sometimes if somebody has a very messy room, for example, we might say that it looks like a pig, whatever this is. So if a room is really messy, you may say it looks like a pig's, whatever the heck this word is. And this comes from, yeah, like the place where a pig would live on a farm. They would have sort of like this little pen almost in the like in the farm, in the building. But yeah, there's a specific word that we would use for that little, like that little space where they would live. Yeah, like an enclosed area. So this is going to be a sty. And yeah, we might say that if something was a mess, we might say that it's like a pig's. I guess he's kind of spell it like this, actually. I thought it was like a pigsty, but a pigsty. A pigsty is a very messy. We could use it for a very messy place. So I'm gonna put that in here. So a sty, pigsty. Rooms for cooking. Oh, we should be able to do this one really easily, I think. Rooms for cooking, because where else are we gonna cook? So, the place where we are going to cook. Something. I think that's enough. One too many. Places we cook. You know, where you'll be able to find the refrigerator, for example, or the fridge for short, oven, the stove, right? Kitchens, exactly. We are going to cook in the kitchens. So nice. I like when they're kind of easily, or I like when they're kind of easy. Awesome. Oh, this is cajole. I was skipping this one because I didn't know how to explain this. I didn't really know how to explain this word. But if you cajole somebody into doing something, so if you cajole someone into doing something, you basically persuade them to do it. So you talk them into it. So here, for example, here's an example. So I managed to cajole her out of leaving too early. So I managed to cajole her out of eating too early. And yeah, so we might also say that you would sweet talk somebody into something. So you would sweet talk somebody into doing something. So let's put that there. And we're really close here. Like, I don't know if we're gonna know this word. But a refinery is kind of like a place where they will take usually like natural minerals or oil or ore, and then they will kind of refine it into more like substances that can then be used for manufacturing or whatever like that. So, oh, so here we go. So a refinery. So a factory where substances in their natural state, such as oil or sugar, are made pure. So they get rid of all of the impurities, all like the extra stuff, that the dirt and things that would be in the material when they were extracted, right? And so then there is like this sort of like this process for basically heating metal at a very high temperature here, which would be part of the work they would do in a refinery. So basically heats metal to a very high degree so that it can be made into other objects, basically. So this might be a verb that we don't know. This could be a new verb for us. But yeah, I gotta get a picture of what I mean, if I can. Let's see if I can get a picture of what they're doing. I mean, I guess this is kind of a picture. This is different from like what I wanted, but we can see here that they're melting. It's like iron or something like that. So it can then be used to something else. And exactly, this word is going to be smelts. So smelts, that means to heat metal at a very high point so that we can pour it into and shape it and do all the different things that you would do in order to make it usable. Awesome. All right. B part. You know what this was? STI. This little thing, this little B part, this is the little thing that's on the back of a bee. The little, you know, the little pointy thing that's a little sharp pointy thing. Pointy thing that's on the back end of a bee. Or other similar insects as well. They also have that, like hornets, for example. Right? Trying to get a picture. And typically you don't want to be you know, you don't want to be touched by it because it's very painful, right? You do not want to be touched by this thing. The bee. So, but there's a name here though. And the name kind of comes from like the verb. They're very similar. They share like a root word. So the verb being that to describe the action of being basically hit by one of these little pointy things, right? Very painful. Sting something. Exactly, sting something. Yeah, so sting is gonna be our verb. You don't want to get I'm gonna say sting. You don't want to get stung by a bee. It's one of those irregular past verbs. Sting, stung, stung. That's the conjugation. Oops, sting, stung, stung. This we might call a stinger. So the bee, this little pointy thing, is the stinger. You do not want to be stung by the bee. So a stinger. Yes. So very painful. Super painful. Hold up. Hold up. So I know that, like, hold up could be like literally, like you could hold something up in the air or something. We could use it that way. But there's another way, that, like, more like an idiomatic sense, to hold up something could be like when you, well, maybe not when you, but when criminals go into a place and they try to request money and stuff from the place. So to hold up a place means to, when criminals go there to a place such as a bank or a store, and maybe they will use guns and stuff like that. They will threaten to hurt the people and try and take, or I should say take the money. So we're looking for another word, basically, that means to take money or other things by force from a bank or a store. I think that's what we mean here. To rob, exactly. We're gonna rob the place. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be this one. I think. Take the money. Yeah, so they held up a bank. You know, the criminals held up the bank. They stole all the money. It means that they went in there with their guns and things like that. Got the money, or they robbed the bank. Yeah. We could also use hold up in this sense as a noun. There was a hold up down at the bank. So we could use it as a noun here as well. Exactly. Hold up could also be used as a or used to mean that there was a delay as well too. So for example, I got held up at the bank. Or maybe like I got held up at the store because I don't know, the lineups were really long or something like that. So you it ended up taking you longer than possible. You got held up, you got delayed. So we could use it that way too. So a couple different uses there of hold up, but this one here, yeah, it means to rob a bank or a store or something like that. Investors buy in the middle of flexible conjunction. Maybe we could do this one. Maybe troubling sign. This word is almost like it's a word about almost like predicting the future. So this is a sign that may indicate, well, they say trouble here, so they may indicate trouble in the future. These things don't always necessarily have to be troubling. Sometimes they could be good things as well, good signs as well, but usually they are considered sort of negative things. Usually there are bad things. So yeah, so word about predicting the future, basically. Signs. Troubling sign. Yeah. Here's the official definition. Something that is considered to be a sign of how a future event will take place. And I can, what is it, a sentence, maybe? There we go. Yeah, many people believe that a broken mirror is an whatever of bad luck or a sign of bad luck. Like I said, we can also use it in a positive as well too. Here, for example, here's an example of this being used in a positive. Says scoring that goal was an something of things to come. So in this case, probably a good sign. Yeah, sign. I think this word is going to be omen. So omens are typically signs of things that are going to happen. So usually we talk about bad omens, right? But they could also be good omens as well. Just signs of how the future may go. In the middle. Yeah. That's probably the easiest. So in the middle of. Yeah, just basically looking for another word. Sort of a synonym that we could use as well. Something. Something. Just another word that indicates you are in the middle of something. So you have like surrounded by something or many things, right? So among, exactly. It might be among something. We are in the middle of it. Exactly. So among. So let's put that in here. Among. I know we don't really do trivia, but let's do this one. A role for Keanu Reeves, right? Matrix guy. The guy in the Matrix. Whatever his name was. Do you know? Yeah, the name of the main character, protagonist. I can't talk today. Neo. Yes, the protagonist. There it is, protagonist. Yeah, in the Matrix. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's do because I don't know what this is. Although I think I know what this one is. I don't know how to say, actually I don't know how to say this name. Zellweger of Chicago, but I know this this is a common crossword word. This is in here all the time. This person here. Zellweger? Is it Zellweger? I'm not a pop culture person. Like the worst. Renee! Yes, this is a Renee. Alright. Alright, cool. Yeah. Alright, and we have like our flexible conjunction. So is this often we might often use this you know, either saying that the sort of conjunction, we usually write it like this with a slash, like an actual slash, not just me indicating that there are two words, but like legitimately we would write it with a slash, right? Basically saying that you can do both things, or you could do one thing or the other thing, and or, exactly. So and or, and hello Anna, it's good to see you. Yeah, so and or, that's gonna be that. And I would legitimately write it like that if I was writing a sentence with that. And or with the little slash there. I would usually give a little space. I know not everybody does, but I would put a little space around that slash. Okay, so and or, what else do we have here? Gives over. Yeah, welcome back. It's good to see you. It's good to see both of you. I really appreciate you guys participating in this. It's really helpful. Maui souvenir and a drama division. I think this one might be the easiest one. Drama division. Yeah. Vote in. Either this one. This one's also really easy. Okay. So our drama division. So division, right? Dividing something into parts. And if we're talking about a drama, we're probably talking about theater, right? So maybe like a performance or something like that, right? So, and like theater productions are typically divided into whatever this is, into an act, exactly. So an act is going to be our drama division. Drama division. Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm doing really well. Thank you. How are you doing? I hope you had a good weekend and a good start to your week. Yeah, let me know how it's going. Yeah, so act there, that's gonna be it. And vote in. Yeah, we should be able to do this one actually. So now that we have that C there, so if you vote someone in, it means basically that you choose, maybe you choose one candidate, especially when we're trying to vote people into office, maybe. You would choose one candidate over all the others, right? So if you vote someone in, you select that candidate. You select one candidate over all the others. So basically we're looking for a verb for that. The sun is shining today. Is it? Oh, jealous. Here the sun is not shining. I can't wait for winter to be over. Oh, that's really nice though. I'd be really jealous. Really jealous of the sun. Actually, you make it curious now to see like what the temperature is. It's been pretty warm here. It's like 3 degrees, so which is better than below 0 or something. But kind of rainy here. All right. So something about choosing, a verb about choosing one candidate over the other, basically. Yeah. So to decide on or choose, basically, especially one person to maybe to do a particular job by voting. I think this word is going to be elect. We're gonna elect somebody. So to vote in, if you vote somebody in, you elect them. Let's put that in here. Elect. Awesome, awesome. There it is. Elect. Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do this one because I think this one should be pretty easy. This person, this llama, this famous person, famous Buddhist. I think I got that right? Yes. Head of, yes, Tibetan Buddhism. The Dalai Lama, exactly. So let's put that in here. Dalai Lama. Alright. Got that. Maui's souvenir. Maui's, it's a volcano. It's one of the islands, one of the Hawaiian islands. Have rows of new segments. We have this one. So let's do this one really quickly. Let's complete this gap fill because this should be really easy. Something they might say, something the doctors might say right after somebody gives birth, right? They look at the kid, right? And they might say this. Something. Oh boy. Something like that. So something doctor might say, right? After someone's given birth. It's, exactly. So it's a boy. Yeah, or it's a girl, obviously, but it's is gonna complete that little sentence there. I noticed too here that I said somebody is given birth. We say to give birth usually. We typically don't use birth as a verb, but to give birth, that would be common qualification. How we would talk about that. Alright. Revenue. Going back to this one, but gives over. Ooh, I wonder if we would know this one. This could be a new word. We might know this one. Gives over. I'm gonna put the S here. But yeah, this kind of word means to almost like give power over, like usually unwillingly is what this word is, basically. Gives over power unwillingly, basically. Seeds, yeah, exactly. The seeds. Seed, that is how I would pronounce that word. Yeah, so let's put that in here. Bugs me. I don't know what this is. We might know what this is. So this little souvenir, this is like, it's almost like a necklace that you would get on a Hawaiian island. I'm gonna get a picture. Yeah, one of these, it's like almost like a floral necklace. L-E. What are these things? These flowery necklaces. Is it called Leo? So this is not Leo, yeah. So Leo would be, Leo is like, one of those astrology signs. It's one of the astrology signs. That's what I think of when I hear the word Leo. Either that or Leo's a common name. So either just like the name of a person or the name of the astrological sign. One for the lion. This floral necklace that you might get on a Hawaiian island might be a souvenir, something you would take away so you can remember it. This is actually a lei. So this is a lei. So remember this one. This is a common crossword word that comes up a lot, but this is called a lei. This little floral thing here. Yeah, so let's put that here. Review segments. Oh, I was reading this as revenue, but it's not revenue, it's review segments. Okay. Okay. Odometer. A unit. Okay, let's do this one maybe. The odometer, it's like in the car, right? And it tracks how far you go, right? So basically an odometer tracks distance, basically, right? So how far you've gone. So I think we're looking for sort of like a distance word. So like one unit, one increment of distance. Almost. Exactly. So mile for you. So funny thing, so I'm Canadian. So here actually we also use kilometers. But because this is an American crossword, they use miles. Yeah. So they would use miles. Here we would also use kilometers. Actually, the cars usually have both. They will have, and also too on the roadsides, it's common to see both. But in Canada, we also use the metric system. So, although people will tend to switch depending on like the context and who you're talking to and things like that. So we will kind of flip back and forth. But technically, like everything is supposed to be in metric as well here. But there are some things that we would do in like standard, like height and stuff. We'll use feet and inches, but so that would be like, what is it, standard or empirical? I think that's what it is. Empirical or imperative. Bad. I'm looking at imperial. Sorry, the imperial. Yes, they have the imperial system. My bad. Imperial. Yes. Yeah, they have the imperial system. We also typically use metric. There you go. There's kind of like the differences. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we also use metric here. Recipes actually in Canada are often use the imperial system as well too. So it's a little bit of a mix here. But road signs we also use kilometers. Okay, so we got mile. Narrow cut. Be something boy. I don't know what that is. Job reward. If you do a really good job, you might ask for basically more money, right? So if you do a really good job, or if you've worked at a place for a very long time, you may ask for one of these. So a hike is definitely a word for an increase. Yes. But when it comes to negotiating salary and things like that, we would use a different word. A hike would be more like, they talk about hiking prices. They talk about putting up prices, and usually to sort of an inflated amount. So that gets used a lot, especially these days with inflation and stuff, right? Everybody's talking about price hikes. So companies charging a lot more for their products. But if we're talking about work, like if we're talking about jobs, we're gonna use something else. Prime also is not the word that we are looking for. A premium, that's a good money word. If something is done for a premium, it means you pay extra money for like to receive, you know, like maybe like best quality of something. Or maybe sometimes they charge a premium to tourists and stuff, or I don't know, so they can, how would we use that? It basically means that you charge a lot of money so you can get sort of like the special top service or something like that. Pay a premium. An amount that is more than usual. We are willing to pay. Here we go. Yeah. Here is pay a premium in a sentence. We're willing to pay a premium for the best location, so we're willing to pay really high prices. But here we're talking about negotiating raises or something. Did I just say raises? Negotiating salary. My bad. Anyways, you would ask for a raise. Sorry. We're gonna ask for a raise from our employer. We're gonna ask for a raise. I always thought that this job reward, you might also get a bonus too. A bonus is also something that you might get from your employer if you have done a really good job, especially at the end of the year. Say maybe you work in sales or something, you reach your targets, and then maybe you will get an extra, you know, $5,000 for doing a really good job. So that could also be sort of a bit of a reward that you would get for doing a really good job. So, but here, a raise is typically what you would ask if you want to increase your salary, basically. Okay. I'm ignoring these ones. I'm ignoring these ones. I wouldn't even get this one. So this is kind of a funny, I think this is kind of a funny answer for this one. But yeah, kind of, another word for pilot. So pilot being somebody who, you know, operates an aircraft, right? So maybe like an airplane or a helicopter, for example. We might refer to them. I feel like this might not be super obvious. But the person who might fly something. I think aviator was in the crossword the other day. Apparently this is actually a sort of a military word, actually. So the member of a British or US Air Force with a low rank. So that's interesting. So I didn't know that there was this is an Air Force word. Who knew? Anyways, if you have a guess, let me know. Somebody who flies airplanes in the military. Yeah, I guess it would be like a military word. Anyways. Pilot in the military, basically. An airman. Yeah, exactly. An airman. So let's put airman in here. Yes. Yeah, that was not obvious to me. And I don't really read a lot about militaries and stuff. Like, maybe we can get this one though. So sometimes in this crossword, certain clues or questions will follow a pattern. So here, for example, up here we had control, which we learned meant to sweet talk somebody into doing something, to persuade them into doing something. And now we have this one here that is kind of sort of a word, an answer also in a similar style that means to sort of insult somebody in a very intimidating way, maybe. So, oops. So we are going to TRA something H, new word, something A, L. Trash talk, exactly. We are going to trash talk them. Basically. Maybe like insult them or threaten them. Exactly. So trash talk. I wonder if we could use that as one word. Is it? Okay, cool. We can use it as one word. Alright. And like lastly, I don't know. Oh, I see what this is. Gotcha. Oh, that's a cool one. This here. So you know how like sometimes when you're on the phone, I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes if you're on the phone and you are spelling something over the phone, or they'll do this on traffic, like the air traffic controllers will do this too, because sometimes it's really hard to make whatever letter you're saying really clear. So you might say, you know, A stands for, you know, apple, you know, T for tiger, for example, right? Just to make it really clear that, you know, this is the letter that you mean. Z as in, you know, zebra or zebra, depending on your pronunciation. But there's like a phrase though that we would use. So be as something. Boy, there's like a little phrase that we would use if I'm trying to tell people like what letter I mean. You know, O for orange, I for igloo, that sort of thing. N for Nancy. So basically, is we'd use when clarifying which letter you mean over the phone. Something like that. I'll give you a hint. It is a preposition. A preposition. This word here is a preposition. So I think we're going to say B as in boy. A as in apple, T as in tiger, Z as in zebra, or Z as in zebra, N as in Nancy, or T as in Tom. B as in boy. All right, last one here. A very narrow cut. It's a very tiny little. Make a really tiny little cut in something. I'm gonna get a picture. Picture that's not gory. Shh. Getting a lot of pictures here, like fashion actually, because I guess it's kind of more common here. Yeah, to make a very fine little cut in something, but we might also use it for referring to like when there's sort of like this narrow cut sort of up a piece of clothing as well too. So whatever we might call this sort of like this narrow cut I wish I could find like a better. I wish I could find a better image. Everything has to do with fashion. Kind of funny. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Here is an image with like in food, for example. You see we've made these little openings here. These little tiny these little narrow cuts. So we're looking for a word that we might call these little tiny little cuts. So this might also be a new word, which is fine, which is really great. This we would call a slit. So tiny little straight narrow opening in something. So same here, these little slits, just like cut it a little bit. Put it in a sentence. Well, here's the definition: to make a long, narrow, straight cut in something. Here, for example, he slit open the envelope with a knife. So he carefully just like opened it by making one smooth, clear cut across it. So I think that's what that is going to be. So let's put it in there. Nice. We did it. Great job, guys. All right. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate your help. Some new interesting words in here today, I think. So slit is kind of a great little word here. But anyways, yeah, so I will be back tomorrow in the evening for a crossword. I think it's at 2100 UTC. So yeah, so the next crossword will be tomorrow. So that is Thursday, March 6th at 2100 UTC. So I will see you tomorrow. If you are able to make that, that will be sort of the evening for me. So I love doing evening streams. I'm a little bit more awake. Today was a struggle, actually. So I'll be a little bit more awake. And then if you can't make the evening stream, I will be back at this time on Friday for another morning stream as well. So thanks so much. I really appreciate your participation. I hope you have a really good evening or afternoon or day, wherever you are. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. All right, have a good one, guys.